Welcome to Daily Dose Manhwa. Here, we know the struggle when you're juggling dozens of manhwa, a new chapter drops, and suddenly, wait, where did I leave off? Sound familiar? That's where we step in. Our mission? To make sure you never feel lost again. We break down arcs, highlight key moments, and recap storylines so you can jump right back in without missing a beat. Whether you follow one manhwa or 10, we've got you covered.
Today, we're diving into an epic martial arts manhwa, Nano Machine. Released in 2020 and still ongoing, this action-packed series follows Cheon Yeo-Woon, a low-ranking member of the demonic cult who lives a life full of hardship. Everything changes when a descendant from the future injects him with a nano machine, an advanced AI that enhances his body and mind. With its help, Yeo-Woon embarks on a journey to change his destiny, unlocking unimaginable strength along the way. Before we deep dive into the story, let's meet and get to know our MC. This is Cheon Yeo-Woon, the underdog of the demonic cult, who starts as a weak and ridiculed figure. The story of Nano Machine unfolds through an epic journey, divided into these thrilling arcs. Arc 1, Meeting Nano. Arc 2, The Cult and the Academy. Arc 3, Secret Training. Arc 4, The Underdog. Arc 5, The Forgotten Legacy. Arc 6, The Hot-Blooded One. Arc 1, Meeting Nano. At the beginning of the story, we see a young man desperately running, trying to escape from a group of people in red robes. Despite his efforts to flee, he is eventually caught. He puts up a fight, but it's no use. One of the robed men strikes him down, leaving him severely injured. Just when it seems like the end for him, the man about to finish him off is suddenly attacked by an unknown entity dressed in a highly unusual outfit. The mysterious figure then injects something into the young man's body, who is already on the brink of death. Moments later, everything fades to black. He loses consciousness. That young man is Cheon Yeo-Woon, a direct descendant of a cult leader. When he wakes up in his bed, he immediately notices something strange about his body. He has undergone a drastic transformation. His wounds are gone. His body now possesses an incredible self-healing ability, and his observation skills have heightened beyond belief. All of these changes are thanks to a mysterious entity now residing within him, one that he later names Nano. Realizing the immense power he has gained, Yeo-Woon quickly starts adapting. He begins experimenting with his new abilities, testing out martial arts techniques he had only ever dreamed of mastering. Once he confirms that all of this is real and not just some illusion or dream, he feels more than ready to take on the cult's academy recruitment, which is about to begin soon, and thus his new adventure begins. Arc 2, The Cult and the Academy. A long time ago, warriors in China learned martial arts for self-defense. However, as time passed, these skills evolved, becoming more complex and ultimately transforming into deadly weapons. These warriors called themselves martial artists, and the world they lived in was known as Morim. Traditionally, Morim was divided into two major factions, the righteous faction and the evil faction. However, there was a third force, the demonic sect, which is where our protagonist belongs. Structurally, the demonic sect is divided into 6 major subsects, known as the 6 core sects. To maintain ties with the main sect, each subsect is required to have a direct descendant of the sect leader or patriarch. These descendants must prove themselves worthy of inheriting power by enrolling in and surviving the rigorous selection process of the Academy of Demonic Arts, which only opens once every 10 years. Even though Yeo-Woon is not from the 6 core sects, the patriarch's blood runs through his veins, making him part of the royal lineage. Because of this, the descendants of the 6 core sects naturally despise him, seeing him as nothing more than an illegitimate child. Fast forward to the day of new student admissions, an event personally opened by the patriarch, with hundreds of candidates from within the cult attending the ceremony. The first test they must face is surviving an attack from the sound art, performed by the head of the musicians sect, one of the leaders of the 6 core sects. This test is designed to eliminate weaker candidates early on. Those who lack inner chi wouldn't be able to withstand the technique's effects. Against everyone's expectations, Yeo-Woon endures the attack thanks to Nano's assistance. Noticing this, the head of the musician sect increases the intensity of the sound art to its absolute limit, pushing every candidate to their breaking point. As a result, many collapse immediately, unable to withstand the pressure. Realizing that his resilience might raise suspicion, Yeo-Woon asks Nano to damage his body after the attack ends, just enough to make it look like he barely survived. After coughing up excessive blood, Yeo-Woon loses consciousness, prompting the head of the academy to step in and inject chi into his body to help him recover. However, what shocks everyone is that Yeo-Woon has no chi at all. The fact that he survived the sound art purely through sheer willpower leaves everyone in complete disbelief. Arc 3 Secret Training. Yeo-Woon's actions didn't just turn heads, they earned the admiration of one of the Academy's senior instructors, someone with a high-ranking position within the cult. In fact, this instructor personally visited the infirmary to meet Yeo-Woon, and after assessing him, decided to take him in as a disciple. Meanwhile, the candidates who survived the sound art test were divided into several groups, preparing for the next stage of selection. At the same time, Yeo-Woon's intense training with his new master began. To the instructor's surprise, Yeo-Woon showed exceptional talent and potential in martial arts, far beyond what anyone could have expected. Yeo-Woon, on the other hand, didn't waste this opportunity and trained with complete dedication. A few days later, all the groups gathered in the training hall for a briefing on the Academy's rigorous training program. At the end of the session, Mugjum, the leader of Group 8, which Yeo-Woon was assigned to, received an update from an instructor. Yeo-Woon would be resting for 2 full weeks. Furious upon hearing this, Mugjum plotted to harm Yeo-Woon, ensuring he wouldn't be able to participate in the Academy's activities. He sent one of his subordinates to the infirmary, intending to cripple Yeo-Woon. But, of course, the plan failed miserably. Meanwhile, Yeo-Woon's secret training sessions with his master continued every night. Day after day, his growth became terrifyingly fast. Back at the academy dormitory, where all the candidates stayed, Mugjum grew increasingly frustrated after learning his plan had failed. In his rage, he took it out on his subordinates. Finally, after 2 full weeks, Yeo-Woon's recovery period at the infirmary was over. Now, after relentless training every night, it was time for him to return to his group and continue his journey at the academy. Arc 4 The Underdog. Long story short, Yeo-Woon finally joined his team to begin training, but Mugjum, the group leader, wasn't happy about it. He constantly tried dirty tricks to get Yeo-Woon disqualified from the academy. The tension between them kept escalating until it finally exploded. They were forced into a one-on-one duel. For the first time, we get to see Yeo-Woon's true fighting abilities after acquiring Nano and training under his master. The result? Completely unexpected. Yeo-Woon defeated Mugjum. Even he was shocked by the sheer power Nano had given him. During this fight, Yeo-Woon also discovered a new feature from Nano, an augmented reality combat simulation, allowing him to train and strategize in ways no one else could. The day finally came. Yeo-Woon's team was up against a group led by a prodigy from the musician sect. But with Nano's tactical genius, Yeo-Woon formulated a brilliant strategy and led his team to a spectacular victory. This changed everything. Suddenly, the other candidates couldn't ignore him anymore. Yeo-Woon had officially made his mark. Arc 5 The Forgotten Legacy. While waiting for the instructor's evaluation on which groups would advance to the next stage, all candidates were granted access to the manual library of the academy. This was where they could study various martial arts texts and manuals to develop themselves further as warriors. It was here that Yeo-Woon stumbled upon something unexpected, a solid stone monument with a deep sword mark on its back. At first, he dismissed it as insignificant, just like everyone else. But then, curiosity got the better of him. He asked Nano to scan it and display the results in augmented reality. What he discovered was mind-blowing. The sword mark wasn't just a random cut. It was a deliberate pattern, a legacy left behind by the ancestors. Realizing its potential, Yeo-Woon recorded the data and immediately began deciphering its meaning. His goal? To convert this ancient technique into a powerful combat skill. However, the process wasn't easy. The hidden clues embedded in the monument were difficult to interpret, even with Nano's help. Through trial and error, countless simulations, and deep concentration, Yeo-Woon finally cracked the code. At that moment, he experienced a new level of enlightenment, unlocking a completely unique martial arts technique that no one else in the academy had ever seen before. Arc 6, the Hot-Blooded One. The results of the previous exam were finally announced, and a select few candidates, including Yeo-Woon, successfully advanced to the next stage. For this stage, the challenge was to collect yellow badges from the academy instructors. Any group that failed to acquire a badge would be eliminated. To obtain a badge, each group leader had to challenge an instructor in a one-on-one duel. Victory meant securing a badge for their team. As the duels began, many group leaders triumphed, defeating their chosen instructors and earning their badges. Finally, it was Yeo-Woon's turn. For the first time, he would publicly demonstrate his newfound abilities after training with his master and unlocking Nano's potential. The result? A shocking victory. Yeo-Woon defeated his instructor with overwhelming skill, securing his group's yellow badge. Many candidates who witnessed the duel were in awe. Some even swore loyalty to him, recognizing his rising strength. As a reward for winning, Yeo-Woon also received a booster chi pill. After consuming it and analyzing the techniques of other group leaders, his martial arts improved drastically. However, amidst his observations, he noticed something alarming. One of the group leaders, Baek-gi, exhibited symptoms of poisoning, symptoms eerily similar to what Yeo-Woon's mother and himself had suffered from in the past. Realizing something was wrong, he rushed Baek-gi to the infirmary. The examination confirmed his fears. Baek-gi had been infected with mycotoxin, a lethal poison. Yeo-Woon's rage ignited. After investigating, he uncovered the culprit, Jong-som Cheon, from the poison sect. Without hesitation, Yeo-Woon hunted Jong-som down. When he found him, there was no room for negotiation, only violence. Blinded by fury, Yeo-Woon mercilessly beat Jong-som, completely overwhelming him. Jong-som tried to fight back, but against Nano's tactical support, his resistance was futile. Then, in a moment of uncontrollable wrath, Yeo-Woon shattered Jong-som's chi-core, a taboo act in the martial world. As his rage subsided, regret filled Yeo-Woon's heart. But it was too late. News of the incident spread quickly. The head of academy took immediate action. As punishment, Yeo-Woon was sentenced to 5 days of solitary confinement in the detention center. Will Yeo-Woon overcome this punishment, and what will happen to the group he leads? Stay tuned to find out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.